Okay, bonjour les cinquièmes. So this is your second lesson for the first week of spring 2 now. Donc, comme d'habitude, on trace un trait après la leçon dernière. On écrit la date en français et le titre qui est le même, on est différent. Okay. When you've written the date and title, I would like you to spend a few minutes, like 3-4 minutes max, on researching what other differences there are between France and Great Britain. And please write down around 3 or more if you can, differences in English that you found on top of the one that we discussed during the first lesson. So pause this video, do some research, don't spend longer than 4 minutes doing this, okay? Thank you. Okay, so I hope you found this interesting, and we're looking forward to reading your findings. So we're still continuing, as you know, to understand comparisons between France and Great Britain, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of recap during this lesson on the present tense as well, okay? So I'm going to show you this video. So before I show you the video, I'm going to ask you to think about when do we use the present tense? So have a think on your own. When do we use the present tense? Second question is, how do we form it? Okay. So here we go.
The present tense, or how to conjugate pretty straightforward verbs in the now. In French, some types of verbs in the present tense all finish in the same way, like verbs that end in er in their infinitive form, like parler, to talk. The infinitive ending is dropped to form the stem, which is then conjugated. The same endings are used for the verbs jouer, danser, penser, and all verbs that end in er. For regular verbs that end in ir, for example, choisir, to choose, the infinitive ending is also dropped and the verb is then conjugated. All IR verbs use the same endings. Finally, there are regular verbs that end with RE, like vendre, to sell. The infinitive ending is dropped and the verb is then conjugated. All RE verbs use the same endings. Simple enough?
So how did you get on with this video? I hope that was a good recap on the present tense. Okay, so answer the question out loud now to yourself, obviously. When do you use the present tense? Okay. The answer is for things happening right now. Habitual things, for example, every Saturday I play tennis. And for facts. Second question I ask you to think about is, how do we form the present tense? So hopefully that was clear from the video. So try and answer the question first. Okay. First step, we find the infinitive verb, which in French finish in er, ir, or re. Step 2, you remove the last 2 letters to get the stem. And the stem is that parts of the verb that is not going to change throughout the conjugation. And step 3, we need to add the present tense endings, which vary according to which subject pronoun you're using. Okay? So, and the present endings are as follows. Okay. So you need to know these off by heart. So if you do not know these off by heart, please pause this video and copy the endings. So for je, an ER verb is I, for tu, is. The ending is I for il, elle, on. ONS for nous, IZ for vous, ENT for il ou elle, which means they. And for ER verb, regular verbs, is always going to be, first get the stem. You've got jouer, which is to play. Second step, we remove the ER here, and we're left with JOU. So you write JOU everywhere, the 6 times, 6 different subjects that they can use. And then third step, you add the ending. Okay, IR verbs, these are the endings in red here. And RE verbs, we've got SS nothing, ONS, EZ, ENT. And you can see, to help you remember, that here we've got some similarities. Okay, so SS for IR and RE, again for to, S and S. Then for ER, we have ONS, EZ, ENT. It's the same for RE verbs. Okay, so some similarities there. Let's do some practice. For first, you've got some irregular verbs that you need to know off by heart. They don't follow any regular patterns. You can't conjugate them on your own, and you only you need to know them completely off by heart. There's no other choice. Okay, so the usual suspects: avoir, être, aller, faire, to have, to be, to go, to do. And this is a conjugation. And again, if you don't know some of them off by heart, please write this as a target for you to do. And some others that you've seen before is partir, to leave, dormir, to sleep, prendre, to take, vivre, to live, and the modal verbs vouloir, to want, pouvoir, to be able to, and devoir, must, or to have to. Okay? A little bit of practice. Remember, we need our subject pronoun or subject, the stem by removing the last two letters, and then the present tense endings. Let's go. Can you please conjugate je with porter, which means to wear now? So it's going to be I wear. Okay, pause the video. Okay, the answer is je porte. We removed er and we added the e, which is the ending for je. Second one. Can you conjugate please avoir with the subject on? So, meaning we have. Pause the video. Okay, the answer is on a. You need to know this one off by heart. Conjugate now il with être, meaning he is. Pause again. And the answer is il est. Conjugate now nous with rouler, which is to drive. Pause again the video. Oops, hold on a second. The answer here is nous roulons. We remove the R, that's how we get in green the stem, and added ONS ending for nous. Vous with réfléchir, regular IO verb. Vous is you plural. The answer is vous réfléchissez. We removed IR and we added the ending for vous with IR verbs, ISS, EZ. Then please conjugate tu with attendre, which is to wait. Okay, pause now. And the answer is tu attends. Tu attends. We removed RE and we added the ending in red, S. And the last one, which is an irregular, she does. Pause the video and write it down. The answer is elle fait. Okay. So how did you get on? Please write yourself a target and write this in your in the private comments to your teacher as well. Okay, so I would like you to now translate this into English. Okay, you can pause this video if you want to know what it sounds like. You can keep on listening, but otherwise you can pause this video now and translate into English. Okay, so I'm reading out. Salut à tous. Je rentre de Londres et c'est un peu différent de chez nous. Par contre, ici en France, on roule à droite, mais là-bas, on roule à gauche. Chez nous, les feux rouges ne passent pas à l'orange avant de passer au vert, comme en Grande-Bretagne. En plus, chez nous, il y a des volets aux fenêtres, pas juste des rideaux. En France, on utilise l'euro, mais en Grande-Bretagne, on utilise la livre sterling. Il y a le tournoi de Roland-Garros en France. Par contre, en Grande-Bretagne, il y a le tournoi de Wimbledon. J'adore ça. Et en Grande-Bretagne, on porte un uniforme à l'école. En France, on ne porte pas d'uniforme. Quelle chance. À plus, Sacha. Okay. So now you can translate into English. Okay, so when you've had a go, okay, I would like you to correct your work. Here we go, red pen. Okay. So pause the video and correct the work if need be. And finally, I just would like you to write a couple of sentences, so 2 to 3 sentences, about the differences between France and Great Britain using the vocab that we've learned. I would like you to extend your sentences by using connectives such as mais, cependant, which is however, we can say pourtant, par contre, all the ones that were in the text that we just seen, you can use, okay? And if you can, extend as well, adding your opinion, using the opinions that we've seen as well. C'est super, intéressant, top, une bonne idée, c'est une mauvaise idée, c'est différent, c'est bizarre. Anything that adds a little bit more value there, okay? So send your sentences in the private comments to in Google Classroom, please, to your teachers. And thank you very much. Okay, as usual, take a photo of your work and upload it on Google Classroom. Merci beaucoup la classe. Au revoir.